From Irish
Right.
Nat, curious what happened with Crowder. Is there a bad blood there? Don't answer if you are compelled to pull a Jack Murphy.
What's Jack Murphy? Oh, is he
Oh,
that
I
gay guy?
love that you
Oh.
don't know. I love. Oh my fucking god! The people that are following this Jack Murphy drama are gonna like laugh so hard that you're like, is it that gay guy? He was like this. He was like this conservative, like masculinity influencer type guy, and then his porn, like that was on Chatterbait, like came up, and it wasn't just like him, stunt dicking it, which a lot of guys do and you never see their face. It was him fully in frame with like something in his butt, and it's like you can tell for him part of the kink was like, because you know what I mean, like he was doing this all simultaneously. So I think for him part of the mental kink was like, oh, I might get found out, I might get discovered, because
Right. Yeah.
why wouldn't you totally wipe that all away when you enter this like new sort of like conservative world? But anyway, so this all got tipped off. Like the tipping point was when he went on a show and the host asked him about cucking, and in his mind he thought, oh, she's trying to out me and all my stuff, my like sexy past, but really she had no fucking clue. And he was like, fuck
That's
you,
sexy.
heartfelt, fuck you, heartfelt, and like took it to an 11. And she was like, what?
Whoa.
And then people started looking into him, and all this stuff got unearthed. And it wasn't that I think anyone really has a problem with the fact that he did porn. He just wasn't honest about it, and he didn't.
Yeah, that's what people don't like.
He was on my show that I have porn stars on all the time. We literally made a joke about him doing a sex tape, and he said nothing. Like, that's what upsets me. It's like he had every opportunity to come clean and be like, yeah, I can be pro masculinity and have sex tapes. Like, and it's all good. But I think because he wanted to shove himself into this box and be this like perfect thing, that crumbled on him.
And that doesn't work ever. Like, your secrets are what get you. So it's like, I don't hide anything because it always comes out, especially if you live stream all the time. Everyone's going to figure out exactly who you are. So why hide any of that? Oh, so what happened with Crowder? I don't want to just be like this big gossip guy, but just basically.
Well, you did it. You like were on the show, or you were like part of the show?
I was like his head writer for like a year, and I used to do sketches with him all the time. Yeah. And it's like, there were certain topics that I was exploring that made him very uncomfortable. And, Not Gay Jared and all those guys all quit too, because there was a lot of just, a lot of drama, a lot of stuff. And, dressing in drag to own the libs, that kind of wears on me a little bit. But I wish him well. He's a dad now, so that's it.
Was it like trans stuff? Like were you trying to push like conspiracy type?
No, I tracked, I had some questions on the moon landing.
Okay. That's fun to talk about. Oh, that's I don't know.
Not when your dad's like best friend was like the colonel in the Air Force. No, it was like a whole thing. And then also the pharmaceutical company that made all the transgender child hormones is Teva Pharmaceuticals out of Israel. So I was like, can we talk about that? And everyone's like, no. And I'm like, really? Okay. I thought that he had me host this whole show once to talk about the transgender child abuse movement. And so I'm not playing. Like, I'm not a grifter. I'm not like someone that just says stuff to get attention. I'm like, I genuinely hate child abuse. And so I'm like, hey, everybody, you'll never guess. Me and my Scooby-Doo team figured out exactly where all these hormones are coming from. And it was like immediately like, no. And you're like, okay, man. And then it's just like, it just kept snowballing. And then like, it was just, I don't know, just nonsense.
And it's not like, I'm sure you weren't pitching ideas to piss anybody off. You were probably like, hey, even the most idiot, like random person can see, hey, it's almost like they're trying to create a market. You know what I mean? Like if this is being pushed and they're making this look like summer camp to little kids, like, wow, I can be trans, I can be accepted, I can get validation, I'm immediately special. My parents bend to my every whim. This is great. It's all the things that kids want at a time when you're like spongy enough to go along with whatever. So it's like anybody can make that observation. It's like, but then you just pitch that and then you're, you know what I mean? You pitch this idea, but then you're left with like, no, like it's an overcorrection, or it's like what you pitch is like this much. And then they go, oh no, like it's met with a lot of anger. It probably makes you go like, oh, fuck, why? What's so wrong with that?
Right. And that's like, no, that's a sacred, like, we don't go there. And I'm like, oh, and so then like, And so that got me a little paranoid for a little bit. It's almost like the Jack Murphy thing. I'm like, so what the hell are they hiding? And then I no longer care. It's just like another country. Like
True.
I
It's like
literally
you could
don't care.
totally go into that. Yeah, there are so
And you
many
can do
little
that to
nuggets.
Sweden.
Yeah.
Like I did a whole episode just on the Wallenberg family in Sweden and how they own Ericsson and all that. Like if you're conspiratorial minded, this is what I learned. You can focus on any area of the world and convince yourself that that's why there's problems in the world. So what I figured out is the way to end trans child movement is for me to be a really good dad and to be part of my community. And so they're not raised by television screens that are trying to coax them into this type of stuff. And that's all I have power over.
That's
And
true.
so in the end of the day, I see the point of not going down some rabbit holes, but at the same time, it's a process that if you don't do it, you don't know why not to do it, you know? And so, because I was one of the first people to talk about the Sackler family. Now there's like HBO documentaries about them. It's like there was one family that was responsible for all the oxy in America. Like,
oh,
yeah. So like
okay.
I've lost friends, close friends to opioid abuse. And like a lot of them were vets that got hooked on these pills that were given to them after they served in Afghanistan. And so I figure out that the patents are owned by this one family. And I'm like talking about the Sackler family really is responsible for a genocide that happened in America. And so then now it's open. They've been sued. They lost billions of dollars. They're blamed for like, but when I did it, I was called anti-Semitic. And this is what happened to me. Like I never had a problem with like Jewish people or anything. It was like every time I would find something, people would go, "Oh, you're anti-Semitic." I'm like, I didn't even know what Sackler, a Jewish name. Like, I don't know what that is. And so it's almost like the over paranoia made me a little paranoid. And then I realized like,
people are overcorrecting you and you're like,
oh
wait,
yeah, like Epstein, Weinstein, Woody Allen. Like I'm listing all these Hollywood pedos and they're like, you're an anti-Semite. I'm like, I didn't even think of that. Like I never even thought to
right. They're just people. I thought they were just people. And we were like talking about, are you a good person or bad person? We're not thinking about like,
right.
who you
That's the right
are
answer.
differentiates if you're a good or bad person. Like what category you fit into denotes whether we look into this or not.
Yeah, exactly. And so my innocence actually kind of revealed like an uncomfortable situation and like, and I get it and it's fine. I'm not for everybody. And that's why I'm glad to be doing my own thing. But, you know, now if you do a stream about the Sackler family, no one cares because it's open knowledge. But when I did it, it wasn't. And in the end of the day, it's still your responsibility to not take drugs. And so to blame the dealer because of your addiction is really not actually fair. And so I've actually come full circle to self-ownership with this stuff because for a while I was like, oh, they're pumping this in and doing that. Unless you don't have free will, which I think exists only with children. That's why child abuse bothers me so much. It's still you. And the only way you can stop it until you pave the whole world, you got to wear shoes, you know? And so that's where I'm at now. And it's a much happier place to be.
That sounds like a t-shirt slogan.